The greatest trick for vocals and guitars, and it only takes one button to push. Next on Music Surgery with me, Dr. Bob. Hey, before we get started, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified of future videos. Also, there are tons of great samples from my personal library below in the description of every video. They're all pay what you want. And lastly, if you want me to work on your music, hit me at drbobmusicsurgery@gmail.com. Van Halen used this technique, Steely Dan did it, U2 did it, amongst countless others. A simple technique to create space and depth and clarity. Watch this. All right, you guys, I say it every week, but great stuff this week. This is a really, really powerful one, often, almost all the time overlooked, including by me. But I want you to hear how powerful this trick can be and how you can really pinpoint your sounds. So let me play this, just a little bit of this, and we'll get into it.
Why did she go? Why won't she stay? Why did she throw our love away? Something made.
Okay, obviously I've exaggerated the reverb on this, but what we have here is a spring reverb. This could be any kind of reverb. And this little knob right here, from a stereo to a mono verb, almost every reverb people seem to pick is stereo because it's lush and it's beautiful and it's 3D and dimensional and gorgeous. Well, let me play you the difference between, let me go back and forth here between the mono and the stereo reverb. Let's start with the mono.
Why did she go? Why won't she stay? Why?
Okay, there is the mono. Now let's go to stereo.
Why did she go? Why won't she stay?
Immediately, you think that's more beautiful, more lush. But what happens often with stereo reverbs is everything that's on the sides and the big stereo-ness of that reverb gets covered up. Case in point, Van Halen. Now, everyone thinks, and this is a hot debate, but I've heard the end of Running with the Devil, and I've heard people talk about it isn't his guitar on one side and the reverb on the other. It's his guitar on one side covering up the reverb on that side. Now, I know that's a hot debate. We don't know if that's true or not. It seems to be that that is true, that because the chamber there is stereo. They could, I don't know, maybe they panned it. But the point being, the placement of things makes certain things easier to hear. If it's true that that is a stereo reverb on Van Halen records, on the guitar, we really only hear the reverb on one side because the guitar is covering up the other side. If it is panned, it's still the same effect, meaning that they have chosen to pinpoint that reverb instead of let it just slop all over the place. And that's what a mono reverb can really do for you. So let me switch back to mono here. Let me play the track. Let's get a little more acclimated. Let me bring the reverb down.
Why did she go? Why won't she stay? Why did she throw our love away? Something made her turn and run. Maybe all the wise.
You can hear when I switch it to stereo, it's much harder to hear that reverb. I've done nothing else because you've got the acoustic guitar on one side, hard pan, and the strings on the other side. So, and this is a very wide open song. Imagine a song where Stereo keyboards eat up everything. Stereo piano eats up everything. Stereo distorted electric guitars eat up everything. So when you're initiating these stereo instances of these reverbs, a lot of that great stuff you're not going to hear because other instruments cover it up. So thinking in terms of mono delay or reverb, watch how I can pinpoint this reverb when it's mono.
Why did she go? Why won't she stay? Why did she throw our love away? Something made her.
I mean, that's awesome. If I had, this is not a dense mix at all, but if I have a dense mix, I can pinpoint where I want that reverb to be instead of just a beautiful lush reverb that most of that lushness you're never going to even hear. I mean, that's all I'm doing is panning a mono reverb.
Why did she go? Why won't she stay? Why did she throw our love away? Something made her turn and run. Maybe all the whys lead to one. Why keeps running through my head? Oh, why was it something?
And as you can see, when I flip it to stereo, it's much harder to hear, even though there's not a lot of stuff to mask it. So now I know that a lot of reverbs don't have a stereo mono button, but in almost all DAWs, I imagine all DAWs, you can initiate a mono version of a reverb or delay, and it will do the same thing. But this is a really important thing that I think I overlook it. Everybody overlooks it. But think about your mono reverbs and delays, and you can really pinpoint where those are, especially in a dense mix, that it's hard to get anything that's 3D or reverb or delay or dimensional to pop out. Well, there you go. Initiate that mono instance of reverb next time you start a mix, and you'll be surprised at the control you have over depth and space. Thanks so much for watching. Give me some comment, love, and a thumbs up below. And hit me at drbobmusicsurgery@gmail.com if you want to say hello or you want me to work on your music. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you the next time the doctor's in.